Hey, it's your girl, Stacy Bullock, host for Tools for Everyday Living. And it's Friday, and we're back here with another wonderful segment for you. I was getting ready to say great show, but I say that all the time. So I'm trying to switch it up on you, see how I can keep y'all on your toes. But look, we have a wonderful guest. He's been here before. You all enjoyed everything that he had to say before, and I know that you're going to enjoy this conversation today too. I'm not going to get too far into who the guest is. I'm going to keep you guessing. But we're going to delve just a tiny little bit into what is this show about today. The show's title made me a little bit nervous. You know, when I was looking at it and studying and thinking about what am I going to how am I going to make sure that I am a demonstrator of the segment today? And this is called Committed During Challenging Times. Because you know, sometimes when you talk about stuff, it may be that you're going to live it or you've already lived it. But this topic right here is something that I think we live continually. It just goes on and on and on because we have to stay committed to who we are, to our beliefs, to our values, even when life is hard. Even when things get a little bit difficult, we still have to be committed. You know, in marriage, I was talking about marriage earlier today. And if there is no commitment to making it last, it won't. Plain and simple. Answer is easy. It won't. Because, yes, we're in love, we're in lust, we're in all kinds of stuff. We like the way you smell, the way you dress, the way you look. All of those things change over time. And things begin to happen in life, especially if you're newly married and you're young. You know, it's like it could be just you and that person in the first couple of years, and then all of a sudden you have a baby. Or someone gets ill, or someone loses their job. What do we do then? If we are not committed to this process, and that's what it is. Life is all a process. Life says you have to follow these certain steps to get to this end goal. And that's what happens when we believe in ourselves and give ourselves, we have a goal, we have goals for life. We are able to focus on something. And what committed means is an agreement. It's a promise. We break our promises to ourselves way too often, y'all. Way too often. I said to myself a long time ago, stop telling yourself no. Make sure that when you tell yourself that you are going to do something for you to better you, do it. Stick to it. Those of us who are parents, those of us who are students, those of us who have these ginormous dreams and in life, we have to make sure that our mindset sticks to our commitment to us. Make a pledge to yourself. You know, not like a New Year's resolution, no. No, those fall by the wayside way too often. We have to now dig in and find out how to bind our mind and heart to our commitment to purpose. And that's why my guest is here today. because I know that he is committed to fulfilling his life's purpose. And I'm going to go ahead and bring him on screen with us, even though he's sitting right here in the room with me. But we had to make sure we had enough space that we could actually do this and do it in an effective way so that you all would get the best out of everything that is said. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Gerald Pacman Dixon II. Yay!
Once I take my mute off.
I have to find a way to get that to play when I do that. When I introduce guests, I want to make sure that we have all the bells and whistles because people enjoy being celebrated.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That indeed.
And you know what? I think we just kind of gonna jump off wherever we thought we were gonna go about commitment because that word that we just talked about just now, we want to be celebrated, says that we have to, there's something that we're being celebrated for. So
Mhm.
that means that we've done something, that we've made a commitment, and it's being demonstrated because we're being celebrated and others are seeing us. And I want to celebrate you right now. I want to celebrate the phenomenal musician that you are. I know you've been here before and you told us a little bit about who you are, but if you could tell us a little more about Gerald Pacman Dixon II, the musician.
Well, as a musician, I grew up since the age of 4. I was playing the drums. And then my dad introduced me to music at a very early age. There was a rap group called Young D, as in the Young Dixons. We traveled around Detroit, Michigan, where I'm from, my hometown. Shout out Detroit. And from there, I just interested in instruments and music and making people smile and bringing the joy to myself, which then to me come off as celebrating other people with my music, and whether it be for funerals, like getting together to have, like, because that's a celebration, correct? Celebration of funerals, weddings, just birthdays. Knowing that music is a type of celebratory process for people brings joy to me, as well as that I in turn get celebration just because I'm doing what I love to do, and I just so happen to get the benefits from it, and that's always the goodness of about it. Hey y'all.
I should put myself on the screen too and all that other good stuff. Well, we are not gonna have one of those days. We're gonna step
Stay
it up.
committed.
Stay committed. Exactly. We're gonna stay committed to this process until we
Amen.
start knocking it out the box 100. Because you know what? Oh man, I was going to ask you something else, but this popped in my head. When we stay committed and keep doing things, you said something to me a few days ago, or maybe a couple weeks ago. I don't know. You said the more we do it, the better we get at it. And we were talking about singing. And when you first had um, the gig bug, I'm going to call it, when you got your first pay for performing as a musician, what did that do to your level of commitment?
You know, being actually, I just remember in the ninth grade, I was asked to play the trumpet for 8 bars of music, and it was a middle school graduation, and I think all I had to play was on the trumpet was $150. as a high school kid, boy, I was rich. And that made me committed to this. I was like, oh, this is it can be this easy, but also it but what made it easy was being committed to learning music, learning scales, staying with my craft, and people will celebrate. As it said in the Bible, God will make room for your gifts. And so that was room for me. And I loved it. And I was like, oh man, this is exciting. From there, I just sought to be better at my craft so then I would have more opportunities to have moments to then get compensated for my gifts and talents. Sometimes it's not always what I believe that I'm worth, but sometimes it's just about creating the experience and connections for those next opportunities to network with the next people to then get it because more people see what I am worth, and I love it. I love it.
You said something that connects to the next word that is in my mind, and that's pledge, the word that's in my mind. But you're saying that it connects to, so that says, okay, I am pledging to do better for my next gig, for my next event, for my next performance, for my next demonstration of who I am. You were making a pledge, the commitment. This thing kind of got way down deep in my soul. And as I was studying about it, and I'm thinking, wow, yep, I'm the first recipient of what we get to talk about. And that excites me and makes me nervous, as I said earlier, because now, just like you were talking about, to get better for the next gig, you had to establish some behaviors. You had to create some habits, good habits. Tell us about those.
Well, growing up, my dad already taught me how to be focused on my craft. My mom, through her constant working to make sure that me and my brothers and sisters had the best that we needed. All that showed me that I need to keep going for my family, and that process was it was strenuous. It's hard that the discipline going with uh. I went to Cass Technical High School. Shout out to Cass Tech and the teacher, Miss Allen. It was all about dedication and commitment because she said it will get me to better places. There was a couple of challenges to like be discouraged based off of I've been working this hard, but it's still not as what I were it to be or where I aspire to be or the other people that I see doing better and everything. But looking at me now, I'm glad that I stuck with it throughout the whole process because it is challenging once you get to another level, as they say, greater level, greater devils. But at that point, because it gets harder, that means that you passed the first part. If that makes sense, that makes sense. You've already passed it. That's why it's harder now because you got better earlier. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand. To whom much is given, much is required. And that's not, I'm not going to say never monetary. However, most of the time, I would say 98% of the time, it's not monetary. The part about to whom much is given, much is required. When we are given a gift, we must make sure that we handle it well, that we treat it well, that we, if actually I just happened to look over at the counter, and for my birthday I received a few flowers, and I want to make sure that I do my part to keep them alive. They were a gift. And so because they were a gift, there's a routine that has to happen. So, they have to be watered at a certain time. When the soil gets a certain way, they have to, when they start to
Mm-hmm.
grow, it has to be repotted. And because of that, I have to now establish these habits that you were talking about. And I just want you to give us a little more detail when you say that it's strenuous, and I'm not disagreeing at all, because creating good habits, does that mean you have to rehearse twice a day? um, 4 or 5 hours? You tell us.
Well, yeah. At the beginning, there was a lot of practicing and just staying focused. Even in the idea of like having friends and trying to have to go out and hang out with friends, couldn't really do that because I was always practicing. But I knew what the goal was for, and so that I can do what I need to do now to do what I want to do later. But yeah, it was hours of rehearsal at college. College, not yet. I ain't there yet. In high school, it was about at least 3 hours a day of practice, whether that be physical, whether that be educational, and whether that be musical practice on the instrument. And because I was in the marching band, and with the marching band, we had all these rehearsals, and we had to have the physical discipline, we had to have the mental stability, we had to have all of that, and it was constant practice, which then can be weary on top of other, because this is just the music side. This isn't about going home to clean your room, making sure you do your homework. So that's all about balance, and so that was what can kind of come down, crumbling down, and become strenuous.
Ooh wee! I liked all of that, because what you described for us is what I feel like is a lifestyle change.
Mhm.
And when you make a commitment to you, there are some times when we are going to have to change our lifestyle, because as you talked about, you had a goal, you knew there was something that you wanted to get to. So there were actions that had to be taken to get to this result. And I'm hoping that what is being received out there right now is that you have to make healthy lifestyle changes to get to the best of you. There's always something that we can do better. But we're going to talk about some more stuff regarding not commitment, but yes, commitment, but being committed during challenges. We're going to take a break. I almost forgot. We've been going for a minute here, and I almost forgot to take a break, but we're going to take a break and we're going to come right back. And we're going to talk to Gerald Pacman Dixon II some more. See ya on the flip side.
I'm Stacy Bullock, and I'm committed to waking your power to bounce back quickly from life's challenges. I've learned there is power in resilience. There was a point in my life when I closely identified with the Sade song, Soldier of Love. Mostly what I identified with was the part that says, I've lost the use of my heart, but I'm still alive. Doubt, disappointment, rejection, it left a stain on my soul. But that's the place where our determination lives. And that's the place where we have to dig in and find resilience so that we can bounce back. I have taken all of that disappointment and despair, and now I use it as a catalyst. It has become my energy to fight, to become a better, a stronger human being every day. Why do I do this? 2 reasons. So I can help you understand that you can become better, and that you can become stronger, and then you can survive any situation. The second reason is because I was born to do it. I am a transformational speaker who can help you know that there is power after pain.
Every day, living tools for every day, living tools for every day, living every day, living tools for every day,
And we are back. Look, I was just thinking while we were on break that because of the lifestyle changes that we have to make, how do we even know that we have to make them unless we are self aware.
Ooh, baby. That's a tough one. Not a tough one, but that's something I'm constantly working on being self aware.
That within itself is a lifetime practice because the thing we have to know, if we don't know anything else, we have to know who we are. We have to know how we show up when things happen. We have to know what is it that is going to cause me to stick to this, whatever this is. And I should say, whatever your this is. I for some reason popped in my head when I was younger. I used to play musical instruments, and I played the clarinet, the guitar, taught myself how to play a little bit of the piano. But I lost the commitment, and I really wish I had kept it. So, but now in life, I can get back to those things. And however, maybe that's just, just a, I'll call it a trinket of a gift that I have to be able to play instruments and things like that. But there are other things that I am intently focused on. And that's because of the self-awareness. So you said a few seconds ago that you were working on that. Tell me, how much does this mean to you to work on being aware of who Gerald is?
It's in the music industry. When you I ask this question to people that were in it, is more so when it comes down to opportunity and exposure, but also knowing your self worth and being self aware of who you are kind of determines the route that you'll go, because then you'll have a standard for yourself and you'll be accountable for yourself, for your actions, for your thoughts, for your commitment. You can see where you can improve. You can see where you didn't, when it's not you, when you're self aware of your triggers. Like, that's why it's constantly growing. As you mentioned at the beginning, everything can be going well, but then you may lose a job, you lose a family member. Life changes, life. We mentioned the last show, life. And because of that, you have to be self aware that you are going through changes. And because of that, you're going to grow and change and build your own stronger testimony. But you still have to accept who you are and be aware of that.
Who I almost forgot to come back. I was sitting over there listening, and you throwing out these words. I heard accountability. That the arrow flew over, um, and I just felt like, oh, okay, yes, we need so much accountability in life. There are way too many times that I have had to say to individuals, I won't say where I was when I said it or where I am when I say it, because it's so often having to be said that it is becoming quite the uh, reason that I want to say I must retire quickly, because there are places where people are not held accountable. I mean, we see it every day, actually. We see it on social media. We see it on TV. People are just not being held accountable. And that is something that is devastating for all of us, because we're all connected. we're, we're all connected in this commitment process. We all have our commitment, to ourselves, but we also have to have a commitment that there are other people around me and I must effectively deal with them. Now, I'm going to throw you a little curveball here because the words emotional intelligence just popped in my head. And I have a friend of mine, we've been friends for over 40 years now, and she said to me probably about 15 years ago, she said, there's a lot of emotionally unstable people walking around today. And I more so now than ever agree. But what is your take on why we need to be emotionally intelligent enough to keep our commitments?
Emotionally intelligent enough to keep our commitments. One is because you need to know your limits and you need to know know that you don't live in this world by yourself. And so being committed to being self-aware makes you know, like, hey, this thing made me feel this way. Why did it make me feel this way? And how you connect that to, hey, when I realize maybe when I watch a particular YouTube show, it makes me feel this way, which then makes me lack in my commitment to practice some more, or makes me, or if I maybe drink some alcohol, then I get lazier, and you have to know those things to be self-aware. Not to say that you need to go ahead and, well, I need to try to see what happens if I drink too much alcohol, but you just know that once you know yourself and being self-aware, you become more in tune with your emotions, and learning how to uh, know when to use them. Know when it's like being self-aware, like, okay, I might be feeling this way, but I might be doing too much, for the lack of a phrase, be doing too much, and I need to relax. And it's maybe not that big of a deal. Maybe what I'm thinking isn't what they're thinking, and I need to control my thoughts, my feelings, and that's being emotionally intelligent, as well as being aware of others and saying that, well, maybe what I'm saying to them is affecting them in that way, even though it's not me, it's something that they need to handle. But I still should be respectful because, again, we don't share this space in one vacuum or by ourselves. We share it by everybody.
Absolutely, boy. You are hitting some bullseyes today. I can sit back. Yes.
Thank you, Jesus.
Yes. Because what you were just describing is we have to understand who we are and deal with our own feelings as well as others. And that brings on something most people are not wanting to do, and that's being willing to change.
Be vulnerable too. Yeah.
Yes, vulnerability will open up avenues and show us, if we are willing to uh, see it, where we need to make these changes. It's so unfortunate that we encounter people who are just stuck. And that's why Tools for Everyday Living is here, so that we can help people get unstuck. I actually wrote a book called Don't Let Your Brain Go Numb, Regaining Power Through Resilience. And it goes through steps and methods on how to become unstuck and how not to get back to being stuck again, because that part can happen as well. But your goal, once you got started on it, um, the move from Detroit to LA, once you got started on this move and had this goal of becoming, I'll say, and you can tell us in a second, because you have a very, very, very key, what I would call your personal life mission statement. You said it on the last show, and it's your life statement, your mission. And I remember the effect that it had on me. I just don't remember all the words, so I don't want to mess it up. But when you moved from Detroit to LA and you started on this trek, you had a goal. And I want you to elaborate a little bit on your goal.
Oh, yeah. Well, last time, goes back to the quote real quick, which is, they may not remember what you said. And then there's another thing in the middle, but they always remember how it made you feel. And that's, again, when you being self-aware and emotionally intelligent, you just need to be genuine and being yourself, which is, again, my mission statement. is to inspire, motivate, and encourage people positively with my music all across the world. That is my mission. And in order to do that, I need to be aware of myself and understanding other people's issues and cultures, to be respectful to them, and that my music is tailored so that they can feel the genuineness to be able to be encouraged, to be able to be motivated, to put down the cigarettes, to write the book, to write the poem, to then perform, to actually do music. All that, 'cause they're like, if this guy can do it, I know I can do it. You know, even if it takes that, like I'm not even bothered by that. I just want people to have an outlet that's positive and enhances their world, which then enhances our world because we're all being better. And that's just what I've been driving. And that was the whole move. I knew I had to stay committed to this goal because that's what God allowed me the opportunities to be in these places. So I know that I'm not in the wrong space because I still keep my mind focused on Him, wherever I go and whatever I do.
Amen.
Amen.
Look, so what how can we give some advice to some, maybe not younger people, but yes, younger, but then maybe some that are older who are just finding new careers, actually, finding out who they are, learning how to deal with their emotions and being and made the changes and want to become unstuck and have started this process, but then they get the backlash, from the family members that say, well, I'll use my family for an example. When I said I was moving to California, and I got a phone call and said, "You really gonna do that?" Then I had another one to say, um, at my going away breakfast, "Oh, don't be trying to motivate. Don't try to motivate us. We're not gonna pay you." So where do you go to when not just family, people around you begin to tell you opposite of what you know in your heart that you are here to do?
Well, as we connected to staying committed, you have to go back to the reason why you're doing it and what it's doing it for you. And understanding that's connected with vulnerability, that's connected to self awareness. Because maybe in the back of your mind, you didn't think that you could do it and you were nervous, and the enemy could use other people or use other things like to discourage you from doing it because he knows the greatness that's going to come from you doing it. And so, with that, there's a song, a Thai tribute, and one of the lines is, "How can I ever be defeated by someone who's already lost?" And if you just keep that in mind, well, I use God as my source of inspiration. But I also do reach out to mentors. I reach out to people that are in the same field, the people that just have lived life longer, to learn from their experiences, to get mentorship. Like that helped me to stay focused on the goal and deal with any trials or tribulation that may come our way. Because yes, even I have been guilty of maybe discouraging people based off of something that I didn't understand, but it wasn't my journey for them. That was their journey, and they have to go through those things of going through. And I would say that the famous movie Rocky One, I believe that he was turned down over 100 times before that movie was made, and they even gave him a smaller budget, but he still believed and remembered why he was doing it, his purpose, and that's the point. That's the purpose of being committed. And look at him now, because he was committed to what he believed in his heart that was supposed to change his life and change the life of others. If that was a good enough answer.
Great answer. Great answer. I'm just curious to know, before we take another break,
Hmm.
as you grow in musicianship, not just in musicianship, but as you grow as a man, are there new habits that you have to create to take yourself to the next level, if you will?
Yes, yes. One of my, I would say, no nos would be I usually don't listen to other saxophonists. And for some reason, it was more so I got stuck on that was their voice, that was their interpretation, and I'm not trying to be them. I'm just trying to individualize myself, which is kind of, it can get discouraging in the world of millions of musicians. And you see kids from the age of 4 right now on social media doing things that I can't do as a 33-year-old, but it's still okay because, again, it is still my path and my journey. So the newest thing that I had to learn was, one, I got a therapist to deal with the constant self-deprecation that I dealt with, or again, oh dang, there go that 4-year-old again. I just suck. Even though I didn't play in front of hundreds of people, thousands of people, getting paid, I'm living a life. For some reason, that just stick in my mind of like, no, I'm not as good as them, so I'm just not good. But doing therapy and again with the mentors and having positive supportive people around me, I had to learn to accept who I was. And this is again with the self-awareness. I've been really on the self-awareness thing in the past, maybe 5 years. So it wasn't something that I just gained out of birth. I sought it out. It was something intriguing about how people answered questions that were self-aware and still were accountable to themselves. So accountability was something new that I had to learn. Self-awareness was something new that I had to learn. That if I wish I knew earlier, then sure, I may have been further. But then again, I also wouldn't have been able to touch the people at this age right now with the knowledge that I knew. So I'm thankful for the journey that I've taken and the time that has taken for me to get there. It could be a little faster though.
You know, I believe that we are all where we are supposed to be when we're supposed to be.
That's it.
And as long as we keep striving towards the goal of being the best person that I can be in this moment, because that's all we have. We only have this moment. I can't be 2 years from now. Certainly can't be 2 years ago. So we have this very moment to concentrate on and focus, if you will. And when we come back, we're going to talk about intense focus. And what does that mean? What does that look like? Well, we're going to talk about it when we come back.
Staying committed during life's challenges has requirements. First, we must make sound choices for our good. It is necessary to stay focused. The key is to have a target or well-defined focal point. What is the point of success we want to reach? We must decide to be dedicated to the best of who we are. Commitment will keep your feet moving. As long as there is movement, there is change. Make dedication, devotion, allegiance, loyalty, and faithfulness a promise to yourself. Keep you at the center and maintain balance by having a determined concentration. Producing mental strength which increases our power to succeed. Nothing worth having comes easy. Stay the course. If you want to learn more about being committed to you, email info@powerandresilience.com and send a request for more information. Always be awesome.
Black excellence. Celebrate the achievements in the Black community. The core of the achievements is a mindset backed by action that displays strength and perseverance that will enhance the Black community. Black excellence is not a phrase that just became embedded in our collective consciousness, but its origins are deeply rooted in the civil rights movement. This is the evidence of the triumphant champions who came long before us. Black excellence is the standard.
we're back. So let's talk a little bit about some intense focus. And I want us to look at the word intense lightly, meaning don't don't tense your body up. Don't tense your mind up. Think of it as I am creating a new habit that I want it to be so ingrained in me that it subconsciously causes me to continue to produce good habits. That's how intense it is in me, is that we want to make sure that, oh, that's second nature to me. This is not something that I have to stop and think about. I am aware of it and I am doing it on purpose.
Mhm.
So, Gerald, just tell us about when you think of something that's intense, what does that mean to you regarding being committed to your craft?
Um, Intense is, I can go back to the 4-year-old. It's like it's intense that they're at that level. And to me, I'm the type of person, it's I'm more competitive in it. That's even a healthy way. I don't ever say that you're not going to be better than me. It's just more so I just need to be a better me. And so that what makes me more intense. I like to work out. I used to watch this show, but I used to because it's no longer showing. But it's on Netflix, BoJack Horseman. And there's this monkey that runs up this hill for like a good couple of seasons. You just see this monkey run up the hill, and the then the main character, Bojack, finally runs up the hill, and just that one hill, he gets super tired and he almost passes out. And the monkey comes and says, "It gets easier." And he says, "What?" He says, "It's just doing it every day that is the hard part. But it does get easier once you do it every day." And so when it comes down to stuff I see online, when it comes down to fitness, and I know that hey, I need to be physically fit because I'm doing these concerts, that I know I will be going doing these world tours and concerts. I got to be physically fit. I got to make sure that I am fully equipped. So there's an intense focus of being better for me to be better for other people, and that's what my focus is continuously like being in my mind. How can I be better for me? Because the byproduct is that everybody gets to enjoy the spoils of my hard work and energy, because I do this for people. I get, in order to motivate, in order to encourage, in order to inspire, I have to be focused on that for others to be positive, to be happy, fun, and punny, as at the same time make people smile. I feel like I answered your question, right?
Yes, yes, yes. You always answer the question. You always answer the
Okay.
question. So I'm just thinking about, that was a really good point. The physical fitness part is a part that I think people do not take into account in life, period. Whatever it is that we're here to do, we have to develop the consistent habits that are going to be beneficial for us. But as you said, most important though, that we are making sure that it is beneficial for others, because that's why we're here. We're here for each other, whether we want to be here for each other or not. I remember there was a really popular sports figure in my day. I don't want to say his name because I don't want nobody to come on here and get me, but they were adamant that they were not a role model.
Mhm.
I am not a role model. How could you think you're not a role model when you show up on TV in a major sporting event
Right.
every weekend for a season? You are a role model, whether you want to be or not. So get off of that soapbox. But we staying committed and being intense and intentional about what we do and why we do it is so important. You work out, people might think, oh, he just started working out because he wanted to get buffed. He wanted the girls to say woo wee when Pac-Man come in the room, or on stage. And that just goes to show, even by me having that thought, that it may be a popular thought amongst people, but you just told us that you're doing it so that you can stay physically fit, so you can be prepared for opportunity when it comes, because it's coming.
Amen.
And I mean, it has come on many levels already, but it's coming on much broader levels, I'm sure. And I mean, y'all better book this man. Let me tell you, y'all better get him. I see these reels that say you taking 10 seconds to scroll past an artist before they get famous. Don't scroll past. Stop and listen. That's another thing I wanted to say to you when I was doing my marketing for this show. You have a plethora of music out there.
Yes, yes. I was like, she played my whole catalog.
I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this. I like this. I'm proud to know you. And you're so welcome. When I saw it, I was like, wow. Some people think you're just starting, but you're not. You've started creating these habits a long time ago that are just producing results right now. And I just want you to tell us a little bit, just a little snippet of, do you get newfound confidence as you go?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I am a product of my mother, return of daughters, and my father, Gerald Dixon the first, not senior, the first. Um, and because they poured into me that way, there's just a level of good fulfillment. Um, it's man, I'm really, I'm trying to stop from tearing up, but yeah, the new inspiration of this, like sometimes I know I have to release music because it's in me, and that's me like, or maybe if I release this, then I can just start going on the track. But even to go back on just the role modeling aspect of it, it's because if I'm trying to motivate, if I'm trying to encourage, I have to be the example that I want people to see me as and who I'm showing up as. And so if I need to show up for people, I need to show up for myself first. And showing up myself first, whether it's practicing, whether it's bringing out, playing the music, performing to my best abilities, working out. Um, that's all. I feel like I'm not answering your question. Like I feel like I forgot it. I didn't forget it. Okay, so I'm gonna keep on going on this
Yeah,
track.
you good. No, you good. You good. We got a few more. You got 10 seconds though.
Okay. But yeah. So yeah. This. You know what? I'm gonna yield those 10 seconds and give them back to you. Pay it forward.
The beauty of lies. Perfect timing though. Perfect timing. And I honestly mean that it is perfect timing. This hour goes by zing.
Yep.
It's like, oh, we prepare for it for a whole week. And oh my goodness, yes, that's what I want to say. Thank you, God, for giving me that quote back by Usain Bolt. I was listening to him talk in an interview, and he said that he prepared for 4 years to run 9 seconds.
Mm, mm.
He prepared 4 years to be in one race to become one of the fastest men in the world. So that tells us right there that we must stay committed to our craft. If we want to be the absolute best person, I'm not saying that you are better than anybody else. I just want us to understand that we need to be the best person that we can be. We have to be able to demonstrate that we believe we're the best, that we deserve we deserve because we are the best, and that there's no one else like us. There's nobody like you.
Nobody.
No. And then we have to decide to commit our minds and our heart and trust. Trust is a big thing. That's why I asked about that confidence, because when we trust who we are, our confidence will fly through the roof. And when we trust God, first of all, because the gift giver is the one who continues to strengthen us and give us power. I just posted about that earlier today. Check it out on Stacy _Bullock, BULLUCK. That's on Facebook and Instagram. And you will see that we as humans need to start being the best of who we are. But first of all, we have to commit to that. We have to 100%, and I know a lot of people don't like this term, but we have to sell out. But we're selling out so that we can be the best for us and be the best for those around us and who we're connected to, because there is somebody connected to you. You on the other side of this screen, you have a purpose. There's a plan for your life. And today, pledge to commit to it. We're not asking you to pledge dollars for organizations. We're asking you to pledge to commit to be the best person of who you are. Gerald, I want you to tell the people in 30 seconds how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at Gerald Pacman Dixon II. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I think that's it. Oh, and TikTok. And that's pretty much it. I do music, I do fitness, I do jokes, and I just live life to the fullest. The best me. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. What do we say when we leave out of here? Always be awesome.
Always awesome.
We'll see you next Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on E360 TV or at Tools for Everyday Living. You can find us. You can find us on Facebook Live. You can find us twice on Facebook Live on Stacy Bullock, or you can go to Tools for Everyday Living. Letter, we can use it and make it something. So service is servant, excellence, resilience, victorious, imparting, consistently compassionate, and exceptional. That's service. We take on the servant mentality and have an excellent way to be able to produce it. But we're going to need some resilience. We're going to need some bounce back, because somebody's going to come and try to diminish what you were doing or saying. But we like, oh, the life is going to show up and we might get, wobbled a little bit. But then in our resiliency, we become victorious. And then we are able to impart something in somebody that actually will help. And we can be consistently compassionate with anybody, because everybody in this room may not have had the same challenges, but I tell you what, we've all got in common. We have felt pain, disappointment, rejection. All of us, we've felt it before. No matter how big or how small, we all know what it's like. So we all know what it's like to need to have compassion given to us. So now we can say, you know what? Let me be compassionate. Hi, my name is Stacy Bullock. I am the president and CEO of Ordered Steps Incorporated, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to provide tangible hope to formerly incarcerated female veterans and homeless women. We give them an opportunity to live a productive life while participating in our one-year training courses to guide them in life skills and job training.